Welcome back. I have been an AirPods user for like 1.5 years now and have been really satisfied with the AirPods. The convenience it provides and the size of the AirPods are truly unmatched in the truly wireless scene. So today I'll be checking a AirPods replica which is around 1/3 the price of the original AirPods and see if they're really worth it. So let's check out the box and packaging of the replica AirPods. The one difference you will notice here is most of the things are written in Chinese and this model is the AirPods 2 with the wireless charging case. I mean, not exactly the AirPods 2, but it's a replica of the AirPods 2, which costs around 17,000 rupees. So from the box itself, it is very difficult to make out whether this is the original or duplicate AirPods. The only thing I could see is that this box is slightly weaker, whereas the original AirPods box is very strong. And the printed parts of the AirPods and the AirPod logo appear slightly inferior in quality than the original AirPods case. Now let me just open the case and see what's inside. You can see first is that is the exact same way the original AirPods have that manuals and all in the front. Now on removing the manuals, you can see this is the AirPods, the actual AirPods. This is also having a plastic film attached. I feel the original AirPods it will be very difficult to see any kind of gum, but this is slightly inferior as expected. So let us just remove the film from the AirPods, and trust me guys, the in-hand feel is exactly like the original AirPods. The only thing I could notice is case opening is slightly less snappy than the AirPods, but it is very close. I mean, unless you keep it side by side, it is very difficult to know that this is not the original AirPods. And the front LED indicator is slightly brighter, or maybe the light is bleeding around the plastic, whereas in the original AirPods it is very sharp. One more thing you can notice here, with the original AirPods, the aluminum hinge that is present is slightly darker, whereas in the duplicate or replica AirPods it is slightly lighter in color. I cannot say with conviction that this is absolutely the same black color in all the original AirPods, but this is the one which I have, and I can say that this is slightly darker in color than the duplicate AirPods. The AirPods I have is the original one, the first generation, so the light is inside the case and not on the outside as is with the case with the wireless one. Now another shocking part is they have actually included the lightning cable exactly like the same that comes with the original AirPods. So one thing I have to tell you is be careful guys. If you see someone selling AirPods on OLX, be very careful what you're buying. I feel it is very difficult to differentiate from the original from this AirPods. It is exactly 1:1 replica of the AirPods. Let me show with the iOS device whether the H1 chip or the W1 chip is actually working and it shows up on the iPad or not. See, I opened the case and exactly like the original AirPods, the iOS device is showing that there is a AirPods nearby which needs to be connected. The connection process is exactly similar as the original AirPods. You just need to press the button behind the AirPods for a few seconds till the white blinking LED comes, and once that is done you will have to press connect on the iPad and it is simply connected. Nothing else to do. Coming to the sound quality is almost similar to the AirPods. AirPods were never great in sound quality. The only thing was the convenience they provided, the ease of connection and the convenience. So throughout my uses, my maximum uses for these AirPods, the original ones, have been with the Android device. So with the Android device I have seen that removing the AirPods from your ear doesn't pause the music, but in this case even if you remove the AirPods from your ear, it pauses the whatever is playing on your Android device, it pauses it. So that is one difference I found. It is great to have actually. I'll be showing you 1:1 comparison with the original AirPods and the duplicate AirPods. The only thing I could see to differentiate from the original AirPods will be the charging case. If you see inside the charging case where the AirPods go into for connection for power recharging, you can see that the connectors are slightly flimsy or more prominent, whereas in the original AirPods charging connectors are very sharp and very nicely designed, where this looks slightly cheaper quality. So that is the only thing which I could find which differentiates this AirPods from the original AirPods. So coming to the gestures part, double tapping does pause the music, that works fine, but it is slightly less responsive than the original AirPods. Removing the AirPods from your ear and putting it back again also works. So overall for around 3,000 rupees, this is absolutely no brainer. If you really like the AirPods design and the quality and the convenience, I think you can go for this. I'm not promoting piracy, but this is actually an awesome device. I bought it from a seller who sells on Instagram. Do ping me on the comment section if you want the seller's ID. So thank you guys. This was a duplicate AirPods review. See you in my next video.